Hello students, good morning. This is Nageswaran, welcoming you to the English Year Learning Program. In this session, I would like to introduce the conditional classes. We are going to learn what is a conditional class and how many types of conditional clauses are there. Right. The title is Conditional Classes. Conditional class. Before that, we must learn what is a class. A class is nothing but a group of words. A class is a group of words. It has a subject and a verb. It has a subject and a verb individually. It gives you complete meaning. In some cases, it gives you incomplete meaning. This class can be divided into two. The first one is subordinating class and the second one is main class. This class can be divided into two, subordinating class and a main class. A subordinating class must be started with a subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunction. And a subject and a verb should be followed. Whereas in main class, a subject and a verb is applied. A main class must be started with a subject and a verb should be followed by it. In some case, a main class can be started with a verb alone. Right. A class is a group of words. It has a subject and a verb. It is divided into two, subordinating class and a main class. A subordinating class must be started with a subordinating conjunction and there is a subject and a verb individually. Then a main class is started with a subject and a verb can be followed by it. Otherwise, in some case, a main class can be started with a verb alone. Right. Next, we are going to say what is a conditional class. Okay. A condition means a rule that must be followed by everyone. Otherwise, a condition is a necessary situation. A condition is a necessary situation that Now, we are going to say what is a conditional class. A conditional class is a class that must contain a condition and that condition must face a result. So a condition means a rule. That rule must be followed by everyone. Whereas a condition is a necessary situation. A situation that must exist in order for something else to happen. This is called a necessary situation. Whatever the condition or whatever the rule or whatever a necessary situation, that must have a result. We no need to bother about the result. That result may be a positive one or may be a negative one. But a condition must have a result. Okay, but so this type of class is called a conditional class. A conditional class is nothing but a class which has a condition or which has a rule or which has a necessary situation. That situation must face a positive result or a negative result. Okay, right. So conditional class means a condition which is followed by a result. Okay, a condition must be followed by a result. This group of class is called a conditional classes. Okay, right. These conditional classes can be divided into 4. The first one is zero conditional. Right. If you have the textbook, you can refer that textbook. It is at page number 116. Students, just take your textbook and refer at page number 116. There we have a conditional classes. There we have a list of conditional classes and what are the types of conditional classes. Right. The first one is zero conditional. The second one is open conditional. The third one is imaginary conditional. And fourth one is unfulfilled condition. Unfulfilled conditional. These are otherwise called zero conditional. Second one is first conditional. Third one is second conditional. Fourth one is third conditional. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional. The last one is third conditional. Okay. So these conditional classes have the technical terms. The first one is zero conditional, second one is open conditional, third one is imaginary conditional or improbable conditional, the last one is unfulfilled conditional. This third one, imaginary conditional, has two other technical terms. Imaginary conditional can be called hypothetical conditional or improbable conditional. So this third conditional has 4 terms: imaginary conditional, hypothetical conditional, improbable conditional, and the last one is second conditional. Okay, right. So let us discuss all these conditional classes one by one now. Remember, students, the conditional class comes under the complex sentence. Okay, a conditional class comes under a complex sentence. A complex sentence must have 2 classes. One is subordinating class and another one is main class. That classes can be in many, that is, can be written in many number. Right. A complex sentence may have a number of subordinating classes. Likewise, a complex sentence may have many number of main classes. But there must be a subordinating class and a main class. Okay. So conditional class or a complex sentence must have a subordinating class, and this subordinating class can be followed by a main class. In some case, a main class can be written at first. That main class can be followed by this subordinating class. Okay, right. Here, this conditional class should have a condition in subordinating class. A subordinating class must contain a condition, or it must contain a rule, or it must contain a necessary situation. And This main class must contain the result. Okay. Students, understand this topic clearly. A conditional class comes under the category of complex sentence. This conditional class and that complex sentence must have a subordinating class and a main class. As I already told you, a conditional class must contain a condition and that condition must be followed by a result. Okay. The condition or rule or necessary situation must be returned in this subordinating class. And the result, that result may be a positive result or a negative result. But that result must be returned in this main class. Okay. Right. That is why I have returned condition and result. Okay. This rule must be applied in all 4 conditional classes. Okay. So remember, a conditional class must have a subordinating class. That subordinating class contains a condition or a rule or a necessary situation, and it has a main class. A main class must contain the result of this condition. Okay, right. Let me give you examples and let me explain all the 4 conditional classes now. The first one is zero conditional. Zero conditional. What should be, what condition should be applied in the zero conditional? What type of condition or what type of rule or what type of necessary situation must be returned in zero condition? Facts which are generally true, universally accepted truth, scientific truth, and a proverb. These can be returned in zero conditional. Okay. Let me give you examples which are given in your textbook. Look at page number 116 at the first column, zero conditional. Right. There we have some examples. The first example is, if you stand in rain, what will be the result? You get wet. The example is, if you stand in rain, you get wet. The condition is standing in rain. The necessary situation is standing in rain. What will be the result if you stand in rain? What will be the result? The result is you get wet. This rule is accepted throughout the world. It is a scientific fact. It is a universally accepted one. Okay, but that is why the sentence is, if you stand in rain, you get wet. This type of conditional class is called zero conditional. And another one, if you analyze the verb in subordinating class, it is in verb 1, that is, it is in present simple. And what tense form should be applied in the result? The same tense form. Okay, the same verb 1 should be followed in the result. So, if a conditional class has the same tense form in both classes, that is in subordinating class as well as in main class, that is called zero conditional. Okay, this subordinating class contains the verb 1, that is present simple. Likewise, this main class contains the same tense form. Okay, right. How will we call this sentence is a complex sentence? As I already told you, a complex sentence must have the formation of subordinating class plus main class. A subordinating class must be started with a subordinating conjunction. The term if is the subordinating conjunction. It subordinates. That means it helps. Okay, right. Then you is the subject. Stand is the verb. So if you analyze the first part, it is started with a subordinating conjunction and a subject and a verb follow this. Likewise, if you analyze the second part, this second part started with a subject and a verb follows it. So the second part is a main class. A main class must be started with a subject. In some case, a main class can be started with a verb alone. So this sentence has the two parts. The first one is subordinating class. The second one is main class. So this is called a complex sentence. This complex sentence has a condition in subordinating class and a result in main class. So this type of complex sentence is otherwise called conditional class. This conditional class has the verb 1 in the subordinating class and the same tense form is followed in the main class. That is, the result is applied in the main class. So this type of conditional class is called zero conditional. Can you understand it? Right. Let me give you another example which is also in your textbook. The another example is if you heat ice, the result is it melts. If you heat ice, it melts. Analyze this one. This sentence is started with a subordinating conjunction and it has a subject and a verb individually. So the first part, the first idea is a subordinating clause. Look at the second part. It is started with a subject and a verb follows it. So the second part is in main class. So the combination of this sentence is subordinating class plus main class. So it is a complex sentence. So it is a complex sentence. Right. And in the first part, that is in the subordinating class, the verb applied is in simple present and it is a condition. It has a rule. It has a necessary situation. If you heat. Okay, right. And in the main class, the same tense form is followed. That is verb 1, present simple. It is the result of this condition. Melting is the result of this action, heating of ice. If you heat ice, that ice melts. It is a universally accepted one. It is a scientific truth. There is no doubt at all. Okay, right. So this type of conditional is called zero conditional. So what is a zero conditional? A zero conditional must have a universally fact or scientific truth or a proverb. The result will be in the same tense form which is applied in the subordinating class, which is applied in the conditional. Okay, right. So let me take you to the second one, open conditional, otherwise called positive conditional or first conditional. First conditional or open conditional. first conditional or open conditional. What ideas or what type of conditions should be applied in this first conditional or open conditional? A possible situation in the future, or predicting a likely result in the future if this condition happens. If a condition or a rule or a necessary situation happens, the result will be a possible one. There will be a 90% of chance to happen that kind of result. Okay, that can be written in the first or open conditional. Right. Let me give you the examples which are given in your textbook. Look at your textbook. The first example is, if it rains, we will cancel the trip. If it rains, we will cancel the trip. Analyze this part. The first one is subordinating conjunction, and the second one is subject, and the third one is verb. So it is in subordinating class. And second part, it is started with a subject and a verb is followed here. So it is a main class. First part is a subordinating class, second part is main class. So it is a complex sentence and it has the subordinating conjunction if it applies a condition. It gives you a rule and it tells you a necessary situation. It rains. Analyze the verb. It is in present simple. As this class has a condition, this class is called conditional class. Okay, fine. If you analyze the verb applied here is present simple, that is verb 1, and the result has the verb of simple future. Analyze this verb, will plus verb 1. Will plus verb 1. So it is in simple future. Okay, this condition has the present simple and the result has the simple future. Okay, future simple. Right. Next, so the rule is verb 1 plus will plus verb 1, or it will, if the result is in negative, the pattern is won't plus verb 1. Analyze this. The subordinating class must have the present simple verb and the result must have the future simple. That is, if the result is in positive, the verb pattern is will plus verb 1. If the result is in negative, the verb pattern is won't plus verb 1. Right. The next example is, if you study, you will pass the exam. If you study, you will pass the exam. Right. So analyze the verb pattern here. Study is in present simple and the result has the future simple. That is will plus verb 1. Okay. So this sentence, this conditional class comes under the category of first conditional or open conditional. Okay. So what should be written in the first conditional? A possible situation in future, or predicting a likely result. Okay, that must be happening in future. Dear students, thus we have completed the first two conditional classes, that is zero conditional and the first conditional. With this, we can wind up this session now. If you have any doubts regarding these two conditional classes, be ready to ask your doubts, whatever it is. Right. So take care, meet you in the next session. There we can discuss the remaining two conditional classes, that is the second conditional and the last one, the third conditional. Right. Okay students, take care, practice all these exercises without fail. Okay, thank you very much. Meet you in the next session.